If you want to see a perfect example of how not to encourage drivers to switch to EVs, just take a look at the UK government and its chaotic attempts to manipulate the auto market with sticks and carrots. Unfortunately, the sticks are just cancelling out the carrots, and the result is, to coin an unfortunate phrase, net zero, with drivers stubbornly refusing to shift away from their regular petrol and diesel cars. I mean, who can blame them? On a level playing field, EVs fail to compete with regular cars in almost every metric. They're more expensive in the first place, depreciation is brutal, insurance is eye-watering, and parts, if you can even get them that is, are astronomically expensive. But even if you ignore all of that, EVs are just massively more inconvenient and frequently more expensive to charge than simply fueling up your current car with dead dinosaurs. Unless perhaps you have the luxury of off-street parking and charging. So on the one hand, the net zero addled UK government offers sweeteners like discounts on the price of a new EV to try and get people to shift, and then without pausing for breath, slaps a pay-per-mile charge on those very same EVs. Stick cancels out carrot. Result? People who've bought one are pissed, and those that haven't are sticking with their regular cars. Great work, everyone. Welcome back to MGUY, British engineer and lawyer, now Sydney YouTuber. If you'd like to watch all my new videos free from interruptions and annoying adverts, like this one, sign up to become a Patreon member for just a few dollars a month. You'll get early access to ad-free versions of my videos and check out the other benefits of becoming a member, like merchandise, behind-the-scenes videos and other bonus content. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen. Even before the budget confirmed the pay-per-mile tax, EV drivers were feeling betrayed. They'd done everything the government had asked, smug in the knowledge that they were helping to save the planet, yeah right, and then furious that they were being punished for going along with the propaganda, as this owner recounts. "I switched to an electric car to save the planet. Now Labour plans to punish me." Rachel Reeves' proposed pay-per-mile levy has left EV owners feeling betrayed. Like many other electric vehicle EV owners, I felt so let down when I heard the news that we may soon have to suffer a pay-per-mile charge under new Labour proposals. I switched to electric because I wanted to be environmentally responsible. This latest move feels like a betrayal of the families trying to reduce their carbon footprint. The government is reportedly proposing a 3p per mile tax on electric cars, despite their growing popularity. 1 in every 25 used cars sold this year is electric, a 44% increase on the same period last year. Sales have risen to 80,614 cars, and the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders warns any changes to tax could be a major deterrent to people switching or upgrading. It feels as if we're being governed by school children. Labour urgently needs cash, and EV drivers are easy targets. I simply cannot see what they hope to achieve with this measure. The pay-per-mile tax is due to be announced by Rachel Reeves on November 26th, but I doubt it will survive contact with the public. It's wildly unpopular and completely at odds with everything we've been told about Labour's commitment to the environment. Giving a discount to buy an electric car but then imposing a mileage charge does not seem to be a coherent environmental policy. How would they know how many miles a car is driven, let alone administer and regulate such a scheme? Would you have to take a photo of your mileometer at the start of each journey or every month? It won't happen. It's simply impractical. You can't, or perhaps shouldn't, talk about the importance of saving the planet and then impose a tax on people trying to do the right thing. I was also furious when I heard that the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, is planning to make EV drivers pay the congestion charge next year. Yet another step backwards. People like me feel we have been lied to. The biggest personal effect is that it has put me off buying a new electric car. So it will undoubtedly hit this market. We had been looking at the new electric Nissan Micra, but now I'm thinking, why bother? My old car runs perfectly well. Absolutely right. Say after me. Buy a good used petrol or diesel car, maintain it well and keep it for as long as you can. You'll be doing way more for the environment that way than by buying an EV with the huge carbon footprint of its manufacturer, something which the fanboys avoid talking about. And already the demand for EVs has taken a hit thanks to this chaotic policy tangle. Electric car demand sinks as drivers face pay-per-mile tax. EV sales grow at their slowest rate in 2 years as government urge not to punish drivers. Demand for electric cars has stalled as Rachel Reeves prepares to hit them with a new pay-per-mile tax. Electric vehicle EV sales grew at their slowest rate in 2 years in November at just 3.6%, according to figures from the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders, SMMT. Mike Hawes, the chief executive of the SMMT, tied the slowdown to the budget and its long build-up. He said even in a fragile market, zero-emission vehicle uptake continues to rise, which is exactly what we need, but the weakest growth for almost 2 years, ahead of the government's announcing a new tax on EVs, should be seen as a wake-up call that a sustained increase in demand for EVs cannot be taken for granted. We should be taking every opportunity to encourage drivers to make the switch, not punishing them for doing so, else the ambitions of government and industry will be thwarted. The Chancellor announced a new pay-per-mile road tax for EVs in last week's budget. The levy will charge drivers of electric cars 3p per mile when it comes into force in April 2028, costing them around £250 a year on average. The change is meant to make up for lost fuel duty and to start bringing EVs into line with petrol and diesel vehicles. A typical petrol car driver currently pays around £600 per year in fuel duty, which is effectively a tax on distance travelled. However, the car industry has warned that the new tax risks damaging demand for EVs, which are more expensive to buy than petrol alternatives. Well, all of this is a stark reminder of how bad governments are at doing anything. They could barely run a sweet shop. So when they start to interfere in a complex market like that for motor vehicles, it's hardly surprising that it has all turned sour very quickly. How many more tax grabs will new EV drivers be lumbered with in a desperate attempt to plug a revenue hole? Why would anyone risk buying an EV in the UK now, unless forced at the point of a gun to do so? The government should have simply let the market decide the future of EVs and combustion cars, and the market would have decided that EVs were not competitive, and that would have been the end of EVs, for the second time in history. But thanks to the government's fat thumb on the scale, having chosen a preferred technology, this nightmare of grants, taxes, carrots and sticks will, perversely, end up actually doing the right thing after all, putting people off ever buying an EV. Thanks very much for watching, really hope you enjoyed it. If you've got any tips or stories, go there. If you'd like to watch another video, go there. If you'd like to buy me a coffee, go there. And please subscribe to the channel.